with our first player of Jazz Media Day with LAURI Markkanen.
LAURI, I remember in your end-of-season interview, you kind of said, one thing I can do to force the timeline is to get as good as I can personally, right? Improve my game. What is it that you think you can improve on and what you have improved on this summer?
It's nice to see you again, too, by the way.
I saw you Friday, or yeah.
Yeah, that's my job as a player, to get better and push the team forward as fast as I can. And obviously I spent a little bit of time in Finland, so now last month or so I've been able to work out with the teammates and stuff. But it was a good summer, just trying to improve physically, be in great shape, and learn a little bit of detailed stuff about on both ends of the floor. So I think I've been doing a good job of that.
Kind of a weird question, but up here.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing, LAURI? I was talking to Juuso Välimäki about your guys' relationship. How have you helped him kind of get used to Utah?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was in Finland most of the summer, so I didn't really. Actually, I don't know what time. When did he get here? But I met him at when the team was welcomed here. Took him to show a couple areas to live in, which he didn't pick, so I guess I was a bad host. But then I've seen him a couple times now, and just trying to help with anything that he needs. But obviously he's a professional. He's been in the league for a while, so they don't really need help. But I just told him I'm here, whatever he needs to.
And along those lines, is it nice to have like another, I guess, Finnish pro athlete in the state?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, our schedules go a little. We have the opposite schedules with home and away games, but try to go catch a couple of games and hang out. And just like I said, if he needs anything, and like, it's good to know that we have other people that enjoy going to sauna. I don't know. So you get to hang out and kind of talk about the life that's going on and whatever. So yeah, it's definitely good.
Hi, LAURI. It's good to
Hello.
see you.
See you.
How stressful was the summer with all the contract stuff and all the talk leading up to that actually coming to fruition?
Well, it could be stressful, but it wasn't really for me. I was able to go home and hang out with my family and kind of forget about it because we couldn't do anything before August anyway. And I expect my agent to tell me if something happens, so I try to stay off of it and kind of really just work on my game and be with the loved ones. And so it wasn't really that stressful, but so I'm happy it got done relatively quickly. So yeah.
Was it comforting that by signing on August 7th, I mean, now you don't have to worry about that talk at all this season? Was that a more reassuring moment for you?
Yeah. For me, just being able to focus on basketball, and I think players talked about it. Everybody talked about when the deadline happened last year, and that's the thing in the league. It comes around every year, and just having 1 year that you know that your name's not going to be in it, so you get to focus on playing and getting better and pushing these my teammates, and so that's a good feeling for sure.
Good to see you again.
Hello. Yeah.
You know, Will mentioned that you're kind of a focal point for this team and somebody that they're looking to be a leader for this group. What's it like kind of being in that position, knowing that you're the person they're looking to kind of set the tone, set the example for the players coming in and the players they're trying to develop here?
It's a great feeling. That's where you work for, and yes, it's a responsibility, but I'm happy to be in that position and pushing myself to being more vocal, and I'm always going to lead by example, just trying to do the right things that professional players do, showing up early, doing all the extra stuff, and hoping that young guys pick it up, and then at the same time forcing myself to be not uncomfortable, but a little bit that way to talk to the guys and grow in that area. So I'm excited to take on that responsibility.
Laurie, good morning.
Morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You know, just to follow up on some of the contract stuff is, you know, a lot of talk was that your relationship with Will is strong, one reason, and also you actually love Utah, the Salt Lake City area. Can you just dive into that a little bit more and talk about both those? I think when people actually come here, they understand that, but you live it and your relationship with Will as well.
Yeah, being in a couple of different organizations, and not saying that they didn't have faith in me or whatever, but just coming here, I had a good summer before I got here, and then having the conversation with Will right away, how we're going to approach the year, and then obviously what we've been doing the last 2 years, I've evolved as a player a lot, and so I trust him on the floor. He's a great basketball mind on the court, but then at the same time you get to hang out with him and knowing as a person, and it's a great thing to have that relationship, so that helps on the court for sure. And what was your second question about Utah? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm an outdoor person. I love being here. Just everything's close, and family loves it here. I know what people say around the NBA that there's nothing to do or whatever, but that's not really true at all. I could have spent here the whole summer if I needed to, and have no problems with it. Just weather's great, and get to do whatever you want here. So I love it.
Lowry, I had heard that you might have passed on the Netflix special, The Starting Five. Is that true?
Yeah, they had I mean, it wasn't really serious conversation, I think, but I assume it was the same one. They reached out about doing a Netflix show, so, I mean, maybe it was a different one. I don't know. That's the only basketball stuff I've seen, so I assume it was that one.
But you didn't want to do it?
No, I didn't want to bring extra people in the locker room, and yes, it's fine when everything's going great. You're having people film you in your car after the game, but what if things go sideways and whatever? So I just know my personality, it would have been too much, so I just wanted to focus on playing basketball and being with our team or with no other people around, and then we're pretty private on our family life as well, so didn't want to bring them into it anyway.
Lowry, are you physically stronger than you were last year,
I think so, yes.
or different? What work went into that?
Just really the same type of stuff I've been doing the other summers. Trying to get faster and stronger, and not going into any specific drills, but it was a big emphasis on during the summertime, and I think we've been doing a good job, and I feel great going in.
I also saw online that you did some disc golf this year.
Not
Coding
every
with
year.
that one
It
fan.
just happened to be on Reddit this year. Yeah.
Right, yeah, true. Yeah, so is it the same as you've been playing disc golf the same amount? Okay. Is it weird to have that happen? Like all of a sudden, you're playing a lot and then one of them just randomly blows up?
No. I mean, I know that I'm a jazz player, and there's a possibility that somebody recognized me when I go there, but it's just a hobby I do on the free time, and I'm not really expecting that to happen, because not all of them follow basketball, as we can see. But it was a pretty cool thing to happen, and obviously I didn't know he was the first 30 minutes or whatever. I didn't genuinely think that he knew who I was, so that was a pretty fun moment. But then we had a great time. We probably spent an hour and a half together, and just talking about life, and so it was pretty cool. Shout out to him. I can't remember his name, but I'm sure he recognizes himself.
Lowry, I'm sure that kind of your personal goals and what you want to improve on is going to change as the season progresses. But right now, as you're heading into the season, what are some things about your game on the court specifically that you're like, okay, I really want to dive in on this?
Yeah, I mean, just finishing out the games, and really, we worked a lot on getting to your spot and going at your pace, and you get some reps at it at practice to like close the games out, whatever. But I don't think there's anything like the game reps. So I'm excited about. It's not going to be perfect every time, but getting to work on it and really find what works for you in game situations, and so that's been one point of emphasis.
Did you get more into fishing this year, or did you just broadcast that out more?
Mostly I posted about it more. I've been doing fishing previous years, but this was first time I went to fly fishing. So,
What do you like about fishing in Utah?
I mean, it's pretty, you're close to nature. You're literally wearing shorts and standing in the river. And I mean, I guess it's a good cold plunge at the same time, but just being in the nature, that's a big thing for me. Instead of living in, that's kind of a, I don't know if humbling is the right word, but can't find a better one now. But just being in the nature and not having to worry about anything else, you're just focusing on getting something to eat. So,
Will and Justin have been pretty clear. They're considering this. The priority is on developing the youth, right?
Yep.
You're a competitive human being. How do you balance the will and want to and desire to win with the knowledge that, hey, you're going to have to play a lot of young players, and maybe that's what's best for the franchise in the long term?
yeah, you accept it. There's best for the organization, and we obviously got to see what we have. But as a competitors, I don't think there's a player in the NBA that goes in to just being okay with, let's see how it goes. I think everybody's competitive, and when you go out there, you're trying to win, and that's how you really get better when you get those game reps. And we talked about the end of game situation. You get the high pressure end of game situation. That's what's going to make you better and learn. And yeah, there's probably going to be some mistakes that we have. Like, I mean, every player does them, but I remember me being a rookie and just learning. You happen to make more of them, so you just understand that. But you go out there and compete like we always do and live with the results.
Was that part of the conversation at all when you were choosing to sign the extension? Like what the future of the franchise looked like?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit, and I think you see it. I mean, nowadays you see it on social media before anything even happens. But you have the conversations, and you kind of, I didn't directly talk to Justin and those guys right before signing, but I mean, I had my agent talk with them, and I was in the loop with that, and so yeah, that definitely plays a role. But like I've been saying, just having I'm trusting those guys. We have good people in this building that's proven that they can get the job done. So I'm worrying about myself and my teammates and just getting better. And yeah.
Thank you,
Wow, nothing about the new Harry Potter ride being at the Universal.
Lauri, do you want to tell us about the new Harry Potter ride?
Wow, I'm disappointed.
We're gonna be in Florida, where there's time to talk about it.
We're in Miami. We're not going to be in Orlando.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be in Orlando?
It's the second night of a back-to-back.
Oh, it's the second night of our
I told you this, Sarah.
I know, we already had this conversation.
I'm disappointed. Just the whole summer, and there's that big of an announcement, and you're not even going to address it.
That's not the biggest thing on my mind right now.
Wow.
So where are your favorite fishing spots in Utah you've done so far?
Can't say the exact location. Yeah, people take us. We were in Provo Canyon. So I'm not going to tell you my spots where I catch my fish.
Can't blow up his honeycomb. Come on, man.